Well, the United States is the biggest buyer of food grown in Manitoba. Nearly half of what's produced here, including potatoes, canola, and pork, goes south across the border. CTV's Michelle Gerwing has more on what the trade war means for the food we put on the table.
10 truckloads of potatoes left Peak of the Market's warehouse Tuesday, headed for the U.S.
So every single load that's crossed the border since 12:01 a.m., we've had to pay a 25% tariff.
CEO Pamela Kolachuk says because it owns the potatoes while in transit, it is the importer on record when the truck crosses the border, meaning each truck sent Tuesday and every day going forward will cost Peak of the Market around an extra $3,500.
Our margins are not even close, so it's eating up profits and more.
Potatoes, canola, and pork are three of the biggest agri-food exports going from Manitoba into the U.S.
The U.S. is our largest trading partner. So last year in Manitoba, we exported around $9.3 billion in agri-food exports. 46% went to the U.S. So there's a huge market for producers.
American sales are 10 to 15% of Rick Preget's live pig sales. He calls that part of his farm a just-in-time business.
At the end of the day, that week when you got to move them, you pretty much as a producer going to have to take what you can get for them.
He's hoping Canadian pork producers can negotiate with U.S. buyers to absorb the tariff costs together.
Short term, we can see that happening. Longer term, we don't see that happening. We see the Americans wanting the Canadians to pay the sellers, pork producers, selling and paying for the tariff.
Colin Hornby with Keystone Agricultural Producers says farmers will also get hit with Canadian retaliatory tariffs on input costs like seeds and fertilizer, feed and machinery.
No matter how you look at it, it's bad.
Kolachuk says tariffs will trickle down to the price at the grocery store. She expects potatoes will get more expensive in as little time as a week and a half unless something changes.
At the end of the day, the consumers are going to have a new tax. It's going to be a tariff tax, but we're going to have to, pass on this tariff to the consumer, and it's going to hurt on both sides of the border.
Michelle Gerwing, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The long-term impact on prices is still unknown. Experts believe there will be more clarity in the days to come.